Welcome to Llandau Circuit in Wales, where today we're filming some behind the scenes of Richard Hammond's workshop. If you haven't checked it out yet, we've put a link in the description below so you can go and give it a watch on Discovery Plus. Today is all about showing you guys what goes into making an episode of Richard's TV show. The day's shoot would cover the first testing of the smallest cog's little MGB racing car, with Richard as team boss, Neil and Andrew as mechanical support, and Abby Eaton and Anthony as the drivers. Anthony, you've become the head driver for the smallest cog. How did that happen?
Well, went karting one day, all four of us, and yeah, I won. So then Richard was like, do you want to have a go? And I was like, boyhood dream. I've got to have a go, so.
Okay, aim for today then in the B.
Not to break it. Can't break it, it's got to be finished and go back in one piece. But
it isn't the first shakedown, right? You have driven it before, but there's been a lot of work since then.
yeah, I've driven it at Prescott. We did about 5 hill climbs in it.
Okay.
I've done a hill, but yeah, this is going to be its proper thrash.
Okay.
That was nowhere near what I was going to go through today, especially in the hands of Abby. That's the issue. We're going to find all its weak spots today.
Abby, you're just back from a W Series race in Hungary. You're going to be driving for Team Cog, but also kind of driver coach for Anthony. What have you seen from him so far? Has he got it?
Do you know what? He impressed me. Right, I'm not saying that just because he's walked right up there, but actually he did impress me at Goodwood when it was his first time out on track. And we were in an M4 competition, which are ballistically quick cars, and it was a pretty busy day as well. So not only did he have to contend with learning a circuit, getting used to a quick car, driving at racing speeds, but also looking behind him for cars coming up to him as well. And he did deal with it extremely well, and I'm intrigued now to see how that translates over into something that has no driver aids. And,
about a quarter of the power as well.
Quarter of the power, but it should move around a little bit more than the M4, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I remember pre-Grand Tour, am I right in saying you kind of made your way up through MX-5s?
Yeah.
So I imagine this will be kind of similar to that, sort of momentum driving?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. And the race that we're doing is at Donington as well, which obviously quite fast flowing corners, and with this being kind of a relatively underpowered car, it is all going to be about keeping your momentum nice and high.
Okay,
that's the plan anyway. That's the theory behind it, so let's see if it works.
It's staggering just how much goes into making a series like Richard Hammond's workshop. So let's meet the people behind bringing this production to life. Marcus, series director. Ollie, assistant producer. Mitzi, junior researcher. Rob, DV director. Pierce, director of photography. Simon, camera operator. Maddie, runner. And last but not least, Grant, the sound recordist.
So here today with Richard Hammond's workshop, we're just rigging the in-car for the MGB GT, which is Richard Hammond, the smallest cogs race car. At the moment, the setup's going to be 3 cameras in the front, so it's sort of one here for a single shot of the passenger, one for the driver, and then one for a 2-shot. And most importantly, the rigging is going to be done on this side because it's tricky, but the last thing we want to do is obscure the driver's immediate peripheral vision. So it's always difficult in a small car because you do want to get those shots, and the cameras have to go somewhere. So that's the challenge at the moment. We're always against it on these days as well. I think I've got about 5 minutes to get it done. But yeah, just checking the shots, getting them rigged as quick as possible. But we are lucky that the sun's out, it's not raining, so people are in a good mood. Yeah, I'll crack on.
Richard, you're covering new ground today. You're team principal.
Oh yes, principal, that's better than boss. Yeah, that is, isn't it?
You're the total wolf of the smallest cog.
I am, I'm boss. Yeah, well, it's my new role. I'm quite excited by it. I've got a clipboard with stuff on it. I've got to make notes. These are the things I want to see. These are the goals for the day. Shakedown and initial comments.
Good.
Plus initial action. Further laps for further shakedown purposes. Bit of endurance. We'll do 10-15 laps, check temperatures, see if there's work to do on that fan. Abby's timed lap, Ant's familiarisation, driving the car with his kit on. Get a time with Abby in the car. Ant does his timed lap, and then possibly, if we get this other MGB to come out and play, Abby sets a time in that one, and then sets a time in ours, and we see how far off the pace we are or aren't.
Okay, so we've got first race in 2 weeks.
Yes.
How are things going? I mean, obviously today will reveal a lot of either good or bad things.
Well, I mean, we know the car isn't finished in that we haven't been able to get a custom exhaust in time. We know we're going to have to do the first race we do on a standard exhaust, and that's costing us easily 20 brake horsepower.
We've got to have a base to start from.
Okay.
And just work from it now. Just keep building up and adding things to it, or taking things away, or tuning it a bit more, change the exhaust. But we've got to have a base to start from.
Okay.
So if we could come here today, take some time, see how we're getting on, and you get more used to the car should get better and better.
So as long as we finish that first session with Anthony having kept the car together, not crashed it, and not put us on the back, then Abby gets in and then it's a straight battle.
No pressure then?
No, none at all.
Marcus, you're the series director. How's the series filming been going so far?
Good, yeah, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've sort of set ourselves quite a few challenges with this one. I think it was really important that we sort of kicked on from the first series.
Yeah.
So the big thing and why we're here today is that this team cog racing has been, had its inception. So that's fantastic. We spent a lot of the time in the workshop, which is good.
Yeah.
But I think for everybody, these sort of days are really exciting because there's something to build to. They've been working on the MG for quite a long time now. Technically, it's quite a challenge because I'm a documentary maker. Doing this kind of proper hardcore car stuff is probably, I'd say, not our natural forte. So the key thing, I suppose, with any documentary is about just getting that passion for what the guys are doing.
With the setup scenes for the day in the can, it was time to get the car lapping the track to see what it was made of. So it's nearly lunchtime and there's been some genuine jeopardy today, so Marcus, series director, will be absolutely loving it. It turns out that this car has got MGB V8 springs on the back of it. They've been way too stiff, so Abby's been bouncing around the corners and it drinks fuel like nothing else. They've tuned this engine to above 130 horsepower, so pretty sprightly for a little MGB, but it is absolutely guzzling fuel, hence why everything's stopped, everything's quiet, and they've gone to get some fuel. We're into the real meat of the shoot now, so Abby and Anthony are going around the track, so the GoPros are switched on in car. We've got the two main cameras, which is Pierce and Marcus on Richard and the cogs. So we've got Rob, who's on the drone, we've got Ollie, who's getting passes, then we've got Soundman there as well, and then we've got Mitzi, who's constantly scanning the timetable, looking at our watch, making sure everything is running on time. This is where the real work is done. Richard, a couple of little snags, but you've got a competitive little car here.
Yeah, and honest, it's really fun, isn't it? Because of the show we're making about it, it's probably easy to forget this is real.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've spent my money on this car. We've spent workshop money and time on the car, and it's a massive relief. Yeah, it is competitive. I mean, we're 2 seconds a lap off an established competitive car, but we could probably take 20 or 30 kilos out of this.
Okay.
We've got another 20 or 30 horsepower to come when we put the competition exhaust on. We've got to sort out problems with the back end, which I think we've worked out what it is now, and that's an easy fix. This will be properly competitive.
Okay.
This is exactly what we wanted. So I'm really thrilled.
So we've been filming the behind the scenes of Richard Hammond's workshop being filmed by the TV guys.
Yeah.
How has this show been compared to other TV shows you've done? Has it been different?
It is really different because it's real. That's not to say what making any TV show about something changes it.
Yeah.
Because you're making a TV show about it. So nothing, anybody tells you it's totally real. It isn't, because you've got a camera there.
Yes.
But this show is real because, the drive of it, the thrust of it, it's a real idea. I wanted to set up the workshop. I was setting up the workshop. And secondary to that, thought that might make a TV show. This is the best way of getting ourselves seen. We'd be racing in this car because I can't afford to go and buy another one. So what's happening is real.
Yeah.
And it's about preserving that, about following the reality of the story that sometimes isn't exactly what you'd want. And because of other shows I've done, there have been occasions when it would be far funnier if the car would fall off the ramp or catch fire, but it doesn't. Well, I can't make it do that, because actually what usually then does happen is far funnier or better. Reality is better.
Well,
It
you've
really
had
is.
some really nice natural jeopardy today.
Yeah. But
All these
exactly
little
right.
things happen.
Today, perfect example. If we engineered it in and wrote it in,
Yeah, wheel
it's,
falls off.
it's not quite on the boil. No, let it happen.
Yes.
What actually happens is you can't write better than what actually happens. And that's what I'm loving about making the show.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this insight into what goes into filming an episode for the new series of Richard's TV show. And if you would like to watch the episode that all of this filming has been for, we've put a link in the description below, which will send you to Discovery Plus. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I've been Mike, and don't forget to subscribe to Drive Tribe.